Today, I'm with Jeremy Carter from Rapport Leadership. Jeremy lives and breathes what CWC Club is all about. He's trustworthy, he loves to help businesses grow, and has a passion for referrals. In fact, almost his entire working life has been dedicated to helping others succeed. That's how we met and soon became great mates. Jeremy, aka Coach Carter, was my business coach for a number of years. And during that time, with Carter's guidance, experienced incredible milestones as a business owner. Over the years, I've attended many of Coach Carter's workshops, some of which have literally shaken me to the bone. Others taken me to extreme highs and broken me down into tears. But I've always come out the other side a better person, and that's what Coach Carter is good at, bringing out the best in people. So it's with great pleasure that today we put Coach Carter in the hot seat and learn a few things about the coach. So Coach Carter, what do you love about CWC Club?
Well, Captain Coot, I presume that's the pirate bounty behind you. In fact, I remember fondly going out on there and spending some time with quality business people and taking the time to really forge strong relationships. I think one of the things that happens way too often in businesses, people want to rush it. They're so focused on attempting to get a sale, they forget about the most important thing, which is let's start with building a relationship.
Very true. You might be able to see yourself on there if I bend down, Carter.
That's me out in the water swimming with the sharks.
True story, actually. He was one of only 3 people that did jump off the boat into the water and have a swim. It was good fun though, wasn't it?
The thing I enjoy about CWC, David, is you provide a great platform to connect like-minded, growth-focused business people. And it's also, we have a lot of fun.
We do. That is so true. So, Coach, tell me why you do what you do.
So why I do what I do is, one of the things that in life, we very often have experiences that many people would classify as negative. And one of the things that experience has shown me is that there's no such thing as good or bad. There's just how we take it. So I started out in a corporate career as an engineer and ended up being the Oceania managing director for a US technology company. Grew the organization 62% in 2 years without adding any headcount. And the US decided that because we were growing so quickly, we were obviously an emerging economy. And so they gifted me with an international sales manager from Armenia who took care of Russia, Eastern Europe and Australia. And he would come out to Australia every 3 months and, to be honest, made our lives living misery. He would yell in the faces of staff. He would pound the table. And I still remember it was his 3rd trip to Australia and he was sitting opposite me and he looked in my eyes and he said, "Jeremy, I know what your problem is." He said, "Your problem is your staff don't fear you. And if your staff don't fear you, you'll never get the highest level of performance out of them." I took a big breath. I swallowed hard and I said to him, "Well, I don't fear you. And in fact, I don't respect you. And I think it would be better for you to hire somebody who does." And he said, "Jeremy, is that your resignation?" And I said, "Sure." So that was 15 years ago why I left the corporate world. And one of the things to keep in mind is that people don't leave companies, they leave managers or they leave toxic cultures. So 15 years ago, I left to become a business coach. And my passion has been working with business owners to help them build great enterprises, profitable enterprises, places that they really enjoy coming to work, and to have people on their team who love doing what they do and work together really well.
Fantastic. I was just doing the maths then, Carter. Was I one of your first clients?
One of my early clients, yes.
Really?
Top stuff for business, old school business values. It was Australia's #1 Vodafone for Business dealer.
We were. Those were the days. Well, you had a talent from it right from the get-go, Carter.
And one of the things to keep in mind is success leaves clues. And it was such a pleasure working with yourself and Daniel in the business at that time. It's successful people never rest on their laurels. They always want to know what the next level is or what the next level looks like. And that's what I love doing as a coach, to come in and stretch people's vision and to help them, more importantly, get clear on how they're going to get there.
Yeah. And you're very good at it, I must say.
Thank you.
Still got a few footprints on my ass from a few beatings.
In fact, some of you may not be aware, David had a full head of hair before I became a business coach.
Was it true? Yes, it probably was. Probably.
No.
Was I already bald?
You were already bald.
There you go. Long gone. So, tell us, Carter, what is the biggest block to people achieving their full potential, in your opinion? What do you see?
The biggest obstacle every single one of us face is the 5 inches between our temples and the barriers and walls that we put up around what we can achieve. Because we either, if you believe we can or we can't, then you're 100% correct. So success at the end of the day starts with getting clear on what success means to you. When you free yourself from limitation and say, if time and money was no object, what would I really love to be doing? So it starts with a dream. And then we need to translate it from a dream into a goal. And the only difference between a dream and a goal is simply a dream with a date on it. And the interesting thing is, when you properly set a goal, when you get fully committed to it, when you say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it there, all sorts of interesting things happen. Opportunities show up, people show up. And this is part of the magic of high achievement, letting your mind do the work for you. The critical first step is to get clear on what you really, really want. And when you do that, you'll be surprised how fast we'll actually get there. And by fast, I don't mean 12 months. Psychologically, we always overestimate what we can achieve in 12 months. 12 months is a relatively short period of time. But we significantly underestimate what we can achieve in 5 to 7 years. And when you look at people that are highly successful in business, typically it comes after 5 to 7 or 10 years hard work that they then become that overnight success. So, you know, when we set out in business, really, to get your business from startup to $1 million turnover, it's hard work. There's a lot of learning to get there. But the critical thing is, once you become that $1 million business owner, to get from 1 to 2 or 2 to $3 million turnover, that's a whole lot easier. But the biggest limitation at the end of the day is our mindsets. And we need to continue to grow our mindsets to be, if you want to have a $5 million business, then you need to have a $5 million mindset.
Right. And would you say that continuous education is a big part of that? I know that you're an avid reader. I don't think I've met anybody that's actually probably read as many business books as you.
I love the quote by Jim Rohn, which is, never wish life were easier, wish you were better. And for many years, I always invested 5% of whatever I earned back in my own personal development. So not waiting for my employer to give me all the education, but always taking education into my own hands. Reading 3 to 4 business books every month, making sure that I summarize those and actually put them in a journal to be able to then access that information when I need it. You know, in life and in business, we can choose to work from the neck down or from the neck up. And many people just think, if I'm going to be successful, I've got to work harder, but that's working from the neck down.
Got it.
The smart thing is really working from the neck up. Education is your highest form of leverage for yourself and also for your team members.
Yeah, I agree with you. So at the moment, especially in today's current climate, where do you see business owners struggling at the moment?
The challenge is that as humans, we tend to want something that's not possible. And that thing that we often look for is stasis, for things to remain the same. But stasis is not a natural state. Civilizations grow and civilizations crumble. Businesses grow and businesses crumble. And one of the things, you know, with what we've seen with COVID-19 is the world has changed. It's changed forever. And it's very easy. So many business owners are caught up in wishing that life were different, wishing that conditions were different. Well, they're not. They are what they are. We can't change that. What we've got to do is to get resourceful and to figure out, how do we survive through the current times? And more importantly, what are the opportunities?
Mm.
When adversity comes along, it opens up a lot of opportunities for companies that are quick to reframe their thinking and to look at where there are problems that need to be solved.
Mm. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, you see many businesses at the moment, and that one of the key words that's being thrown around a lot is pivoting. You know, you need to pivot as a business owner. Have you got any advice for people that are struggling to do just that, to pivot?
Well, it's about, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. You look at really what your core service offering is and protect that where you can, and really focus on the products or services with the highest levels of profit. But we look at what the strategic adjacencies also are. What are the things that the marketplace is looking for? So last year, for example, I ran training sessions in Malaysia, Singapore, Bali, Taiwan, Thailand. So I was doing a lot of international travel and training. How much do you think I've done this year?
0.
So what I've had to do is to really reinvent how I'm delivering a lot of my training. And it's a lot tougher to train via WebEx or these online webinar technologies and deliver the same engaging experience as it is in person. However, what we've been able to do is to update, upgrade, and change our service offering so we're still able to deliver what the marketplace wants. And the marketplace is always looking for ways to be able to lift their teams up, get them inspired, and to be able to move forwards even in challenging circumstances.
Fantastic. On that note, how do business owners get better from their team members? And I guess, especially during these current conditions, that's something that's extremely important. You want everybody to be rallying together, correct?
Sure. So as a business grows, it doesn't necessarily need more people. It just needs better people. And that's about understanding that you need to take people on a journey. You need to help them grow as well. In the leadership space, one of the challenging things is very often the people that need the help aren't willing to admit that they're the problem. You know, I've lost count of the number of business owners that say, Jeremy, come in, I need you to fix my team. My team is rubbish.
Right.
I have to bite down hard on my tongue and resist from saying, well, what's the one thing the whole team has in common? Yeah, the team is always a reflection of the leader. And at the end of the day, you get the staff that you deserve. So the critical thing is to really understand that, you know, if we want great people, we need to be a great manager and leader. We need to invest in developing that skill set. We need to be willing to do some of the touchy-feely, soft skills-based approaches that are required to develop trust, to develop teamwork, and to take people to places they haven't been before.
So that being the case, is there a secret to building a great team? And if so, what is it? Or is it a combination of things?
Well, when we look at what drives great teams, well, number one, they have a great purpose. They know what their goals are. They know what their purpose is. There's a common shared vision and there's shared values. And in organizations, this is what's known as your vision, your mission, and your values.
Yeah.
And the vision is, what does success look like? Our mission is, how are we going to make the world a better place? And the values is, how are we going to do that? What does our culture as a team look like? And if you don't have a team, then at the end of the day, you don't have a business. You've got a job. You know, and for many people, that's fine. You know, for example, medical practitioners, they spend 40 years getting qualified. For many of them, they don't want to be a business owner. They just want to have a practice where they're swapping time for money.
Yeah.
But the challenge with that model is you very rapidly run out of time. Our biggest constraint, our most limited resource is, you know, we all have 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week. And how do we choose to invest that to be able to achieve what we want?
Yeah.
Now, the nice thing with money, if you spend it, you can always make more. But with our time, once we've spent it, it's gone. So part of getting that team together is to really first be clear on, you know, what does our bus look like? Where are we going? And how are we going to play that game? And many business owners make the mistake that, you know, they believe that because business is about making money, we need to be serious all the time. But what you find about great teams is they actually have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a balance of fun and support and camaraderie. And through that, that's where performance happens at the highest level.
Brilliant. Well, Coach, I've certainly gotten a lot out of today's chat. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else does. So thank you very much for being with us today.
You're welcome. Great to be invited along. And for those of you sitting out there thinking about joining CWC, my suggestion is you're going to be the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So instead of focusing on being a big fish in a little pond, perhaps it's time to step up and be a smaller fish in a bigger pond. And that really provides the opportunities for growth to stretch your thinking and go to the next level. So looking forward to seeing you at a future CWC function.
Perhaps on a harbour cruise in the near future. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Coach.
No worries, David.